You've been taking your blood pressure meds every single day, and your numbers are still sitting at 145/95.
We're talking about a leaf that grows in your backyard right now. The one your grandmother chewed after every meal. The one that drops blood pressure faster than most prescriptions, and almost nobody in the West knows it exists. My name doesn't matter. What matters is that you're about to find out why your blood pressure medication might be working against one of nature's most powerful vasodilators, and why chewing this specific green leaf for 2 minutes could drop your systolic pressure by 15 to 20 points before you finish your coffee. Let me start with the mistake that's keeping your blood pressure high even when you think you're doing everything right. You take your medication, you cut the salt, you exercise, but your arteries are still stiff as garden hoses left out in winter. Here's why. Your endothelial cells, the ones lining every single blood vessel in your body, they need nitric oxide to relax. Think of nitric oxide as the open sesame command for your arteries. Without it, your blood vessels stay clenched tight, your heart has to push harder, your kidneys suffer, your brain gets less oxygen. And here's the brutal part. Most blood pressure medications don't actually help your body make more nitric oxide. They force your vessels open through other pathways, but they don't fix the root problem. That green leaf we're about to discuss, it floods your system with nitric oxide precursors within 90 seconds of chewing it. Your vessels relax, your pressure drops, and your body remembers how to do this on its own. The curiosity here is this. If this leaf is so powerful, why isn't your doctor prescribing it? And that's not even the mistake causing the most damage. The second thing destroying your blood pressure control is something you do every single morning without thinking. You wake up, you feel stressed, your cortisol spikes, your sympathetic nervous system fires up like you're being chased by something with teeth. And what do you reach for? Coffee. Not just any coffee, strong coffee, on an empty stomach. Now, here's what happens inside your body within 15 minutes. Your adrenal glands dump more cortisol, your heart rate jumps, your blood vessels constrict, and that medication you took, it's fighting an uphill battle against a tidal wave of stress hormones. Your systolic pressure can spike 20 to 30 points just from this morning ritual. You think you're waking up, your body thinks it's in danger. And this happens every single day, creating a baseline of vascular tension that never fully releases. The real symptom isn't just the high reading on your monitor. It's the constant fatigue, the afternoon crashes, the brain fog that makes you feel like you're thinking through wet cotton. Your body is spending so much energy keeping your cardiovascular system in crisis mode that everything else runs on fumes. Here's the simple analogy. Imagine your blood vessels are a network of highways. When you're relaxed and your nitric oxide levels are normal, traffic flows smooth. But when you spike cortisol and caffeine on an empty stomach every morning, it's like putting speed bumps on every single road and then wondering why you're always late and exhausted. Almost nobody checks this, but your blood pressure medication works completely differently depending on when you take it relative to your cortisol curve. Now let's talk about the leaf. It's called betel leaf, Piper betel. In Southeast Asia, over 600 million people chew this after meals. Not for fun, not for tradition, because it works. When you chew betel leaf, your saliva breaks down compounds called chavicol and eugenol. These convert almost immediately into nitric oxide in your mouth and bloodstream. Within 2 to 3 minutes, your blood vessels start to dilate, your blood pressure drops. But here's what makes this different from your medication. Betel leaf doesn't just force your vessels open, it actually teaches your endothelial cells to produce nitric oxide on their own again. It's like rebooting a system that forgot how to run its own software. The effect is fastest when you chew it, not tea, not extract, chewing. Because the mechanical action combined with your saliva creates the bioavailability your body can actually use. You chew for about 2 minutes, you feel a slight tingling. That's the vasodilation happening in real time. Within 5 minutes, if you check your pressure, you'll see the drop. 15 to 20 points on the systolic, sometimes more if your vessels were really clenched.
This is where most people get it wrong. They think if a little is good, more is better. They chew 10 leaves a day and wonder why they feel lightheaded and nauseous. Betel leaf is powerful. That means it's also easy to overdo. 1 to 2 leaves after a meal. That's it. More than that, and you're pushing your blood pressure too low, stressing your liver and creating a different problem. Here's the transition. If betel leaf works this fast, what's stopping it from being the first-line treatment? Let me hit you with something that sounds healthy, but actually makes your blood pressure worse. You've been told to eat more fruit. Great advice, except when it's not. Most people trying to lower their blood pressure start drinking fruit smoothies every morning. Banana, berries, orange juice, maybe some spinach to feel virtuous. Here's what actually happens. You just spiked your sugar. Your pancreas dumps insulin. Your insulin triggers your kidneys to hold on to sodium. More sodium means more water retention. More water retention means higher blood volume. Higher blood volume means your heart has to push harder against more resistance. And the fructose in all that fruit, it doesn't just mess with your liver, it interferes with the same nitric oxide pathway that betel leaf activates. You're basically canceling out the one mechanism that could actually relax your arteries. The long-term consequence isn't just stubborn blood pressure, it's insulin resistance that makes every other intervention less effective. The symptom you'll notice first is that puffy feeling. Your hands swell, your ankles hold water, your face looks softer in the mirror. That's not hydration, that's your kidneys struggling to balance sodium because your insulin is screaming at them to hold on to everything.
Your body reacts very differently than you think when you combine high sugar intake with blood pressure medication. Around minute 7, let me flip something you've believed your whole life. You've been told that salt is the enemy. Cut the salt, lower the pressure. Sounds logical, except it's not that simple. Your body needs sodium to function. Your neurons fire because of sodium. Your muscles contract because of sodium. When you cut salt too aggressively while taking diuretics, you trigger something called the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system. Your body panics. It thinks you're dehydrated. It releases hormones that make your kidneys grab onto every molecule of sodium they can find. And those hormones, they constrict your blood vessels even tighter. You end up with the same high blood pressure, but now you're also depleted in magnesium and potassium because the diuretics flush those out too. Here's the real issue. It's not about how much salt you eat. It's about the ratio of sodium to potassium and magnesium. If you're eating processed food, you're getting massive sodium with almost zero potassium or magnesium. That's the problem. Betel leaf, by the way, is incredibly high in magnesium. That's part of why it works. It doesn't just give you nitric oxide, it balances the electrolyte chaos that keeps your pressure high, even when you think you're doing everything right. This sounds healthy, but it's not. Eating 6 small meals a day to keep your blood sugar stable. Every time you eat, your insulin spikes. Every time your insulin spikes, your sympathetic nervous system activates. Every time your sympathetic nervous system activates, your blood pressure goes up. 6 meals a day means 6 insulin spikes, 6 blood pressure spikes. Your body never gets a chance to rest and repair. Your vessels stay in a low-grade state of constriction all day long. Compare that to someone who eats 2 or 3 meals with real gaps in between. Their insulin stays low between meals. Their parasympathetic nervous system, the one that calms everything down, actually gets to do its job. Their blood vessels relax, their blood pressure normalizes. And when they chew betel leaf after a meal, the effect is even stronger because their system isn't already fighting an insulin war. Let me give you the second most powerful insight, and this is the one that stops most people from ever fixing their blood pressure permanently. You think your blood pressure problem is in your heart or your arteries. It's not. It's in your gut. Your microbiome produces compounds that either relax or constrict your blood vessels. When your gut bacteria are out of balance, usually from antibiotics, processed food, or chronic stress, they produce more of a compound called TMAO. TMAO directly damages your endothelial cells, the same cells that need to make nitric oxide. When your endothelium is damaged, it doesn't matter how much betel leaf you chew or how much medication you take, your vessels can't respond properly. The fix isn't another pill. It's fermented foods. It's fiber that your good bacteria can eat. It's giving your microbiome the tools to stop producing the chemicals that keep your pressure high. Here's the symptom nobody connects. If you're bloated all the time, if your digestion is slow and heavy, if you feel like food just sits in your stomach, your blood pressure will not normalize. Your gut and your cardiovascular system are running on the same nerve pathways. They're not separate. When one is a mess, the other follows.
Almost nobody checks this, but your blood pressure at night should drop by at least 10% from your daytime reading. If it doesn't, you're a non-dipper. That means your nervous system never shifts into rest mode. You're in low-grade fight or flight 24 hours a day. And no amount of medication will fix that until you address why your body feels unsafe enough to stay vigilant all night. Now let's get to the number one mistake, the one that silently ruins everything else you're doing. You're treating your blood pressure like it's the problem. It's not. High blood pressure is a symptom. It's your body's attempt to get oxygen and nutrients to your cells when something else is broken. Maybe your kidneys are struggling. Maybe your blood is too thick. Maybe your liver is so congested it's creating back pressure in your portal vein. Maybe you're so insulin resistant that your cells are literally starving even though you're eating plenty. When your body senses that cells aren't getting what they need, it raises the pressure. It's trying to save your life, and you're taking medication to force the pressure down without asking why it went up in the first place. Here's why most people never notice this. The medication works. Your numbers look good. Your doctor is happy, but you still feel terrible. You're still tired. You still can't think clearly. You still wake up feeling like you didn't sleep because you didn't fix the problem. You just masked the alarm. Betel leaf works so fast because it gives your body a tool it can actually use, nitric oxide, the signal that tells your vessels they can relax because the crisis is over. But if you keep living in a way that creates the crisis, chewing betel leaf is just another Band-Aid. You need to find out why your body thinks it needs high pressure to survive. Is it chronic inflammation? Is it insulin resistance? Is it kidney dysfunction? Is it sleep apnea, cutting off your oxygen 50 times a night? Fixing everything else won't help without this. You have to stop thinking of your blood pressure as the enemy and start thinking of it as a messenger. It's telling you something is wrong upstream. Listen to it, investigate it, and then use tools like betel leaf not as a replacement for figuring out the root cause, but as support while you actually fix what's broken. Your body knows how to regulate blood pressure. It did it for years before the numbers started climbing. Something changed. Find out what. And in the meantime, chew the leaf your ancestors knew worked. 2 minutes after a meal, watch your numbers drop, and then ask yourself what else needs to change so you don't need the leaf anymore. That's the real work.